Hello and welcome back to Midnight 29, and I will be reading today The Party Adoption Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Scudaly awoke from her sleep as Celestia's sun shined through the window of the clubhouse. She struggled to wake up as her eyes were blinded by the light. She let out a yawn. Oh man, time to get up already? Scudaly let out a sigh. She had been enjoying her sleep, and for once the night wasn't too cold like it was last night. And Scudaly still felt lonely. She knew she had to do what she could to survive. After all, it's not like any pony can help with what she's going through. Scudaly walked to the window of the clubhouse to make sure no one was outside. She didn't want to explain why she was out here so early in the morning. She darted out of the clubhouse and got onto her scooter, the only thing she owned that reminded her of her parents. Although she always tried to hide her sadness from the world, simply so Rainbow Dash wouldn't think she was weak. Scudaly jumped on her scooter and buzzed off towards Apple's home, in the hope of finding her friends there. Scudaly came to a stop in front of the barn house and spotted her friend waiting for her. They approached her with matching smiles on their faces. "Morning, Scoots!" they called out in unison. As usual, Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom jumped onto the wagon that was attached to the scooter. The white unicorn looked over at Scudaly. "We'd better get going, so we're not late for school," Sweetie Belle said, excitement filling her voice, as it usually did when school was involved. Scudaly was not amused. She hated school. The three of them soon reached the schoolhouse. Scudaly jumped off her scooter and placed it carefully on the hitching post. The trio walked inside the schoolhouse and sat down in their seats in the front of the class. The three had begun chatting about how to get their cutie mark. Next, just as they were to start talking, Miss Cheerily walked in. Cheerily walked up to her seat and said, "Good morning, class." Cheerily wanted to get today over with badly, for she had a date with Big Mac. She started stacking up the papers for her students. She was about to speak, but noticed Scudaly was asleep again. This is the second time this week she's been asleep in class," Cheerily thought. She walked up to Scudaly's desk, then lowered herself to the orange filly's level, yelling, "Scudaly, get up right now!" Just as she had said that, Scudaly jumped up about 4 feet, trying to fly, but it didn't work due to her small wings. She dropped down on top of Cheerily's back, causing the teacher to fall down on the school floor. Scudaly started to get up off her teacher before sitting down, but she decided to help her teacher up. Scudaly thought brought her right hoof down to Miss Cheerily's hoof. With a filly's strength, she brought her teacher back to her hooves. Cheerily gave Scudaly a stern look and said, "Okay, Scudaly, since you like disturbing the class like that, what's 5 plus 20? Scudaly rubbed the back of her head, still thinking of an answer. Then it dawned on her. She could tell a joke. She then spoke up and said, "The answer to that is 69. Every pony in the class, besides Cheerily, burst out laughing like there was no tomorrow. Cheerily was starting to get frustrated over the little joke that her student made, but decided to ignore it for now and talk to her about it later. After what seemed to be an hour, the class was dismissed for recess, all except Scudaly. As a punishment, she had to stay in class and just sit there, doing nothing, all because of that horrible joke which disturbed the class. Scudaly was sitting at her desk with her head down on the wooden surface. She let out a moan. "Ugh, this is so boring." Scudaly raised her head with a great force, slamming her head on the desk. Surprisingly, it didn't hurt at all. Cheerily just stared at her for a moment. She wasn't sure whether to be concerned for her or just let the filly do whatever she pleased. Cheerily started to walk towards her cabinet where all her schoolwork was. She had the perfect task for Scudaly. She opened the cabinet door and revealed the world's hardest quiz, the Impossible Pony Quiz. Cheerily trotted over to Scudaly's desk and placed it on there as flat as possible. She then said, "Okay, Scudaly, if you want to get out of this, then you're going to do this quiz. Good luck, you'll need it." With that, Cheerily walked off towards the desk and sat down, taking a sip of her water. Scudaly raised her head and looked at the paper, feeling rather confused. Question number 1. How old is Princess Celestia? Even Scudaly didn't know this answer, so she picked up the pencil in her mouth and started writing down 5,000 years old. After about 30 minutes, Scudaly finished the quiz. Luckily, around that time, it was time to leave. Now Scudaly gets to hang out with her friends. Maybe we can get our cutie marks as factory workers, Schoolly thought. Upon coming out of the schoolhouse, Schoolly's friends had worried faces. Sweetie Belle was the first one to speak. "Schoolly, what did she do to you in there?" Schoolly was amused by how her friends were acting. "Well, you see," Schoolly was cut off as Diamond Tiara walked in on them. Diamond Tiara then spoke in a harsh tone. "Well, well, if it isn't the Baby Mark Crusaders. You know what I think? I know what your cutie mark will be. You want to know what they are?" The cutie mark Crusaders gave an odd glance to her before Applebloom spoke up. Sure, why not? Even though they already knew what Diamond Tiara was going to say. Diamond Tiara then screamed, "Your cutie marks are being blanks!" Diamond Tiara enjoyed making their lives miserable, but the one thing she really needed were friends. She started to walk away. That was until Schoolly walked in her way. For what was said next would shock Tiara. Schoolly stepped muzzle to muzzle with Tiara and said, "We might be blank flanks, but at least we're not spoiled little punk." With that, Schoolly slapped Diamond Tiara with her tail and left her with her friends. At least she was, until Diamond Tiara said, "Well, at least I'm not a flightless loser." Her right eye twitched at this. "Why, you good-for-nothing—" Schoolly never finished that sentence. She pinned Diamond Tiara to the ground, and then began punching her in the face, sending her hoof down upon her, over and over. After about 3 minutes, Schoolly left Diamond Tiara with a bloody oozing down her nose. Schoolly leaned close to DT and said, "Next time you call me flightless, you might get worse." With that, Schoolly and her friends left the clubhouse, leaving poor Diamond Tiara crying. The three made it to the clubhouse in silence, but Applebloom was the first to speak. "What gives, Schoolly? Why did you beat up Diamond like that? She may be mean, but she did not deserve that." Applebloom was never one for violence. Thank you for listening. Next chapter will be up next week, and I hope you enjoyed it.